Hello again. We are in lesson 11-2. We're getting ready to do problem number 3, but before we do, I want to bring your attention. I know I work the problems, but I need for you to see where we're getting the idea. If we're trying to find the surface area for a cylinder, the side right here is trying to show you if you could unwrap or unroll the side, it would end up being just one big rectangle that got rolled around the circle. So the length of the rectangle here really is the part that got wrapped around the circle. So that's where that 2 pi r is coming in, which is the circumference of the circle. So because that is being wrapped around the circle, then I need to use circumference here. So this becomes circumference, and of course this is the height. All right, and then of course you have your top circle and you have your bottom circle, which is the area of the base. And remember, the area of the bases are pi r squared. Okay, so anyway, based on that, they come up with this lateral and surface area of a cylinder. That, of course, to find surface area, you add the lateral area plus 2 times the base, just like we did in problem number 2 previously on one of the videos. But the to find the surface area, or the lateral area, excuse me, the side area, remember that rectangle is 2 pi r, which is the length, times the height, or you can say it pi times diameter instead of 2 pi r times the height. Either one works, okay? So if we look at problem number 3 specifically here, it says the radius of the cylinder is 4 inches and its height is 6 inches. What's the surface area of the cylinder? Remember, it's the lateral area plus 2 times the base area. And the lateral area, since it gave us the radius, is 2 pi r times h. That'll help us find the side area. And then the base is pi r squared, and of course there's 2 of them. So we just simply, once we have the formula, we just plug in 2 times pi times 4 times 6. That's your radius and your height. Times 2 times pi times r squared, or in this case 4 squared. And it says leave in terms of pi. So don't put the pi in your calculation, but 6 times 4 times 2 is 48. 4 squared is 16 times 2 is 32. And 48 and 32 together make 80. So this ends up being 80 pi as part of the answer. Okay, so let's look a little bit closer at number 3. If the height were 9 and the radius were 10, what is the surface area? Now I'm going to pull, it's this same thing right here. So it's going to be 2 times pi times r times h, that's your lateral area, plus 2 times the base area, which is going to be 2 times pi r squared. So I'm just pulling that straight from there. And then I'm going to just plug in what I know. 2 times pi, and the radius is 10, so I'm going to put a 10 in there. And then the height was 9, so I'm going to put a 9 in there. Plus 2 times pi
checking my sources
times
my web search.
The radius again is 10, but this time we're going to square it. All right, so let's work this. 9 times 10 is 90 times 2 is 180, so that ends up being 180 pi. 10 squared is 100, and 100 times 2 becomes 200 pi. So if I add 200 pi and 180 pi, it's going to end up being 380 pi. And then, of course, because it's area and it's in centimeters, it's going to be centimeters squared as my final answer. Don't forget your units. Even though I haven't said a lot about it, don't forget those, because they're important to the when you're asked for area, you need to give the proper units if supplied to you. All right? Best of luck.